Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hope is devastated to learn that Liam is dying on The Bold and the Beautiful. With little time left, she wants to make his final days as pleasant as possible. However, she'll have a big decision to make with one of his requests. Upon learning about Liam's, Scott Clifton, condition, Hope, Annika Noel, began thinking about their past. Although they had some bad moments, there were also a lot of good memories. After their stroll down memory lane, Hope realized she didn't want to waste another second. She told Liam she loved him and wants them to be together. Although Liam was touched by her words, he rejected her suggestion. Liam told Hope he wants her to be happy, and that Carter, Lawrence St. Victor, is the perfect man for her. Hope and Carter have been on the outs since he gave up control of Forrester Creations. Carter's pleaded with Hope to give him another chance, but she's unsure. However, Liam could help reunite the two. Although Hope still has doubts about reuniting with Carter, Liam's request might change her mind. She wants to make Liam happy during his final days, so if he wants her to be with Carter, she'll honor his wish. While Hope's concern is making Liam happy, she'll be left unhappy. It's become apparent that Hope is no longer in love with Carter. Her heart belongs with Liam. Before she found out Liam was dying, she was thinking about him. As much as Liam loves Hope, he doesn't want her to waste her life with him. Yet, Liam's setting Hope up for heartache by pushing her toward Carter. Not only will Hope be stuck in a relationship with a man she doesn't love, but she'll also be betrayed again. Unbeknownst to Hope, Carter overheard her conversation with Liam and immediately went straight to Daphne, Muriel Hilaire. Carter and Daphne's affair will cause more unhappiness in Hope's life. Los Angeles never stopped buzzing, not even for heartbreak. Inside the pristine walls of Forrester Creations, where beauty and glamour masked pain, Hope Logan found herself at a crossroads, one that left her questioning everything. The man who had once been her everything was now fading, and with each passing breath, his request echoed louder in her mind. Liam was dying. It had all happened so fast, a sudden collapse, a battery of tests, and then a diagnosis that felt too cruel to be true, an aggressive, inoperable condition that gave Liam mere weeks, maybe days. Everyone was stunned. Even Bill Spencer, normally a fortress of bravado, looked shattered. And Hope, she was unraveling. But it wasn't just Liam's impending death that haunted her. It was his wish. "Marry me again," Liam had whispered, his hand trembling in hers. "Let me leave this world as your husband, one last time." The weight of goodbye. Hope stared at her reflection in her office mirror. Her normally steady hands trembled as she adjusted a sketch on her desk. She couldn't concentrate. Not when Liam was lying in a hospital bed, smiling like everything was fine, asking her to make an impossible decision. She had moved on, hadn't she? Thomas had become a fixture in her life again. Not just as a designer, but as a man who stood by her through the storms. He was patient, reformed. He waited for her heart to catch up, never rushing, always steady. They were close now, intimate, even. And although she hadn't declared herself fully, Thomas had begun to hope for a future. And now Liam's wish threatened to unravel everything. A knock broke the silence. It was Steffi, eyes red but spine straight. "Can we talk?" she asked quietly. Hope nodded. "Is it about Liam?" "Of course it is." Steffi sat, her tone serious. "He asked me to help plan the wedding. Said he wanted you in your garden dress again. Can you believe that?" Hope swallowed. Her garden wedding to Liam. It had been one of the happiest days of her life. "I don't know if I can do this, Steffi," she admitted. "Not when it feels like a betrayal to Thomas, and to myself." Steffi exhaled slowly. "Hope, this isn't about the future. This is about giving peace to someone you once loved deeply, maybe still love. Liam's not trying to claim you. He's saying goodbye in the only way he knows how." "Would you do it?" Hope asked, eyes brimming. "If it were Finn?" Steffi's silence said everything. Thomas overhears. Unbeknownst to either woman, Thomas had been walking toward Hope's office to drop off new sketches. When he heard the words, "Liam, marry me," he froze just outside the door. His world tilted. They'd been so close to a new chapter. He had given Hope space to decide. But this wasn't what he expected. It wasn't about rivalry or jealousy, it was about dignity. When Hope finally left her office, Thomas stood waiting. "You're marrying him?" he asked without pretense. Hope's breath caught. "Thomas. You know games, Hope. Just tell me, is that what you're going to do?" I haven't decided yet." Thomas's jaw flexed, but his voice remained soft. "Do you still love him?" "I'll always love Liam," she said honestly. "But not the way I once did, not anymore. I love you, Thomas. That's what makes this so hard." Thomas's face softened. "Then say goodbye to him as his friend, Hope. Don't marry a memory. That's not love. That's guilt." And with that, he walked away. A father's plea. Bill Spencer wasn't one to beg. But he'd gone to extremes to try and give his son a miracle cure. Specialists, experimental drugs, second opinions, none of it mattered now. When Hope arrived at the hospital later that day, she found Bill alone outside Liam's room. "He's smiling," Bill said with a ghost of a laugh. "Still talking about the damn wedding like it's happening tomorrow." Hope looked away. "He's clinging to hope." Bill turned to her, eyes surprisingly gentle. "And you're the only hope he's got left. Look, I'm not telling you to forget your life. But this isn't about Thomas or guilt or anything else. It's about peace. My son is dying, Hope, and he wants to feel like he did something right. You and Beth, you were his light. Let him hold that light one last time." Hope's heart cracked. "I'm scared," she admitted. "So am I," Bill said. "But we can't take that from him." The proposal replayed. That night, Hope sat beside Liam's bed as the machines beeped steadily. He looked pale but peaceful. His hand found hers. "You remember that time I took you to Big Bear just to watch the snow fall?" Liam asked with a smile. "You wore that ridiculous red beanie." "You loved that beanie," Hope teased. "I loved you," he whispered. "Still do. I know it's selfish asking this. But I need to go knowing I didn't fail completely, that I was once the man you chose." Tears fell freely down Hope's cheeks. "You weren't a failure, Liam. You gave me Beth. You gave me so much." He smiled faintly. "So will you do it? Just a simple ceremony. Just us, one last time." Hope nodded. Yes. Wedding of goodbye. It wasn't grand, just a chapel. A handful of guests. Steffi, Ridge, Brooke, Bill, and a reluctant Thomas who sat stiffly at the back. Hope wore a simple white dress, nothing from the line, just something soft and elegant. Beth carried a bouquet too big for her tiny hands. As Liam stood, propped up on shaky legs, he whispered his vows. "Hope Logan, I loved you before I knew what love was. I leave this world with your name on my lips." Hope responded, voice breaking. "Liam Spencer, you are my first love, my family, my friend. I will carry you in my heart forever." They kissed, not with passion, but with farewell. The last breath. 3 days later, Liam passed quietly in his sleep. Hope was by his side, holding his hand. When the final breath left him, it felt like the world shifted. Not ended, just changed. At the funeral, Hope gave the eulogy. She spoke of love, forgiveness, and peace. Thomas stood behind her, a hand on her shoulder, silent in his support. Afterward, Hope visited Liam's grave alone. "I honored your wish," she whispered. "And now I need to live again. I hope you understand." A new chapter. Weeks passed. Hope returned to Forrester, sketching again. Laughing even. Thomas waited patiently, never pressuring. Until one day, Hope came to him. "I need to ask you something," she said. Thomas turned, surprised. "Anything." "Do you believe in second chances?" He smiled. "I do." Hope took his hand. "Then let's write a new ending. For us." Epilogue. A letter from Liam. Months later, on what would have been Liam's birthday, a letter arrived for Hope. Hope, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I want you to know our wedding wasn't about tying you to the past. It was about giving both of us peace. Thank you for saying yes. You gave me more than I ever deserved. Now go find your forever. I hope it's with Thomas. He's loved you in ways I never could. You deserve that kind of love. Always, Liam. Final thought. Should Hope have honored Liam's dying wish? For some, it may feel like a betrayal to her present. For others, it's the ultimate act of compassion, to give peace to a man she once called her soulmate. But in the world of the bold and the beautiful, where love is always complicated and hearts forever entangled, maybe the right answer is both. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bold and Beautiful UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.